welcome to the Pro Brick exclusive YouTube channel, the Pro One Theologist channel. And I'm Reverend Dr. Jason W. Morrison, Theologist, New South Wales, Australia. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. You cannot in any way interfere with mothers and their children. Like a bear robbed of its cubs, so is a fool in their foolishness, the Bible says. Now, if you're in a relationship with a single mother and the children are starting to manifest some pretty questionable behavior because of that, what do you do? What can you do so that you're not being destructive in the relationship, so that you're not coming between the mother and their children? Well, I'll tell you one thing right now. As soon as you open your mouth, no matter what the situation is, you are going to be putting yourself on very fallow ground. It's really hard for a woman to see ill behavior in her children, and some will, don't get me wrong, some will, but it will stir a maternal aggression in her that may not go well for you. You have to remember, she brought these people into the world. She carried these children in her stomach for 9 months and then went through the pain, the bonding and all that of bringing them into the world. You're just an outsider. G'day buddy, how are you? Just the way, good, yeah. You're just an outsider to these single mothers. You got to remember, they're not single. They got their children, and that will be their backstop right up until the day that they die. And you're just invited to come in and share some intimacy and take some intimacy in the midst of all this. Now, if you come into the relationship with one of these single mothers and the children start to play up, start to deteriorate, what you'll find is they'll deteriorate because of the personal supply that the mother's giving to you of herself. She'll deteriorate because of the supply of herself that she is sharing with you, that she would normally share with the children. This is because a lot of single mothers surrogate their children as partners, and they don't even know they're doing it. They surrogate their children as partners. They begin to exchange adult emotions. They allow the children to exchange their emotions in an unhealthy way between each other. It's not maternal child parent transaction communication. It's way beyond that. It's a surrogated partnership that's supplying emotional needs in areas that should only be shared between adults, not parents and children. And when a single mother meets somebody, particularly if she hasn't been with somebody for some time, or she might have many partners, you'll find these children are very dysfunctional because they don't know if they're coming or going. The mother's just spreading herself all over the place emotionally. There's no boundaries within her persona to justify any of this. It's just a whole mixture of mixed up emotions without boundaries. Everybody's, some are real covert with this. You'll get the quiet ones that don't say much. But when you're not around and they're with their children, want to make a bet, they'll have the child helping them to choose who they're going to get off the internet on the dating site. They'll get the child's opinion of what they think this person looks like and how it'll go. Oh, they won't blame the child if the child chooses somebody and it goes wrong. Oh no, the child won't get the blame for that. The confusion, the serial psychological confusion associated with this behaviour, you cannot describe what this does to the minds of these children, adult children included. They'll sit with their adult children and discuss all their personal business. The adult children know all the financial business, particularly if there's drugs involved and there's got to be a drug supply. You'll see the child knows everything. He knows when to go and get his drug supply. He knows when to get his... he knows when to get... He knows when to get his financial supply offer. There are so many adult children that are dependent on their parents now, and this is the thing, listen very carefully. That's exactly how these single mothers want it. It's not by accident, it's on purpose, because the single mother needs the connection with the children more than what the child needs the connection with the mother. You see, it's the mother that set all this up, allowed it to happen. It's all the parent. The parent that is the one that's formulated this, allowed this to domestically form. See, when you're becoming a minister or a theologian or a Christian pastor, you have to go through what's called spiritual formation. They have to make sure, the mentors and the authorities and everyone that are going to make sure you're an integral minister. Like, I'm talking about people in the real organisations where you're accountable and responsible, and you ain't going to be a Christian minister. You ain't going near nobody until you're tried and tested. You have to go through what's called spiritual formation. You are formed spiritually, trained and formed into a person of integrity and honesty, accountability and responsibility, and all the other aspects where you do not intrude into people's lives or go into people's lives without all the necessary fundamental respectful aspects that you need to have, not to disrupt their life but to assist their life. In these families, these covert emotional incestual or enmeshment families, there is none of that. There's no boundaries whatsoever. There's emotional crossover, parent to child, that should only be shared with parent to parent. The children are bringing, conjuring up lustful desires within themselves and communicating with the mother whilst these desires are working in them. The parent's not got the discernment, doesn't want to have the discernment to shut these things down. There's no characteristic formation. It's all guesswork. It's all based on ego. If my ego's telling me I'm feeling right, I'm feeling right. The next minute, if my ego's telling me I'm depressed, if I feel depressed, I'm depressed. Don't necessarily have to really be depressed, but that's if that's how they feel, they'll be depressed. then all of a sudden everybody's high again. And mum's on the dating site trying to find somebody she can go out and get some intimacy with, basically use, until she can get back to her children or her adult children. What you got to realize, guys, is you're living in an world of opportunists. That doesn't necessarily mean they're genuinely trying to accomplish anything in life. Look at the life that they've had before you come along. Listen to what they say, how it went. Listen to what their grievances are from that relationship. Just listen and you'll know. See, a lot of you older men, you're getting involved with people whose lives are over. Their life is done. They got all the ailments and all the sicknesses. Their organs are stuffed. A lot of them haven't looked after themselves the right way. They're medicated. They're on some kind of drug. It's all being abused for the most part. Their mind is damaged from years and years of this type of medication and drug use. They can't pair bond because they're too bonded to their pets and children and things. And you watch them trying to build something and it's an absolute mess. They can only resolve certain things, and beyond that they're completely useless. And if your life's in order and you've worked on yourself for decades and you come into one of these families, yes, I did take a deep breath and exhale then. As much as you try and care, it's not going to change the fabric that these people are used to living in. There's not many people that will bring you in and include you at that stage in their life. And if they do, like one woman I had, we were fine for 12 months. She'd come to my place, I'd go to her place. Then the adult children started. I never really wanted to go back to her place again. What was the point? These women that are living with children and there's no order, walk away, guys. As soon as you see or sense something that's just not right, leave them alone. Let them find somebody else. Let somebody else deal with the dysfunction, the lack of the resolve, the evil and nastiness and bitterness and spoiledness of their children. Don't get involved, guys. You can show these people a wonderful time and do things with them that they'll never experience again. But if they're living with their children, that's where they belong. They don't belong with you. You've got to understand this. The children are involved in everything. All their privacy, all their financial business, what drugs they take, when the drugs are coming, how to share them. It's all relevant. It's all involved. And you're just an outsider. It's up to you. If you find the one in a million that's going to sell out for you and allow you to be the primary part of their life, and a woman that knows that you have the capability to be inclusive of her children and work with her, as it were, alongside her while she parents them, good luck to you. If you can't find that, and you're happy just for this person to come and go and take your strengths and your care and everything, and then go back and live with the children, it's completely up to you. But I don't advise it unless you like your own space, and there's a lot of people that live this way. But those children, they'll despise you because you're not a part of the tribe of origin. You've come along with zero value. You haven't done or been involved, done the work or been involved with the family, whatever their experiences are, for it to be or have gotten to where it is. And a lot of these families, women on dating sites and things, are so full of unresolved, personal unresolved, collective unresolved, that they don't know how to accept somebody that has practiced things of order, how to navigate things in a way in which your mind's protected from all the carnage and fallout of unresolved, how to understand whether behaviour is really legit or whether it's not. These people don't understand all this. They're meandering to how these people feel. They're running around rescuing each other, whether it be for the right reasons or not. They're in prison. A lot of them have got children in prison. A lot of them are broken. And for the most part, a lot of these people care. But their ultimate fundamental choices. G'day, brother. Give the dog a pat for us. Their ultimate fundamental, excuse me, sorry. I'm doing my exercise, morning exercise, and passing people that I know. Their fundamental choices are not favouring their future. They're just meeting the emotions at that time. So you need to be aware, men and women need to be aware of how they're going to be involved, what they're getting involved in, whether it's worth it, whether it's not, and whether there's a future in it for them or whether there's not. Because it will wear at you. You'll waste time. Doesn't mean she didn't care or you didn't care. The children won't care. I know that because I was one. They won't care. Not ultimately. They only care about themselves. You got to ask yourself whether you're prepared to pay the price. There's some beautiful single mothers, don't get me wrong, and they do try. But when they're enmeshed with their children, and that's a photo of me as a little boy, and we had a horrible childhood. I hardly even knew my mother, to be honest. When they're enmeshed with their parents, you're best off leaving them alone. This is Dr. Jason W. Morrison, theologist, New South Wales, Australia, on the Pro Bricky exclusive YouTube channel and Pro One Theologist channel. Thank you for joining me, and bye for now.